Well, since I'll be in quarantine for the next 10 days, why not document my COVID journey? I might not videotape every day, but if something important happens or if I'm feeling some type of way, I'll let you know. So, to give a brief synopsis of the first video, if you don't want to go back and watch it, Friday around 5:30 p.m. after work, it just hit me at once. I started not feeling well. I took a nap before Christmas Eve service. I sang during service. Woke up Saturday morning, still not feeling the best, but I made it through the day. I took a nap early Saturday evening. Sunday morning for church, I didn't feel the best. I took a nap during church. Decided, I'll just go ahead, better be safe than sorry, and get tested. My COVID test came back positive. Okay, so now today. Um, I had to go to work today. The way my job works is that my vacation time, not my vacation time, my sick time, it does not roll over to the next year, and I did not have enough sick time left to take a day off, so I had to work today. It was a little rough at first, but I made it through. Also, from Sunday, what I had to do was, of course, call everybody who was around, message everybody, message the choir director, let him tell the rest of the choir members that I tested positive for COVID. I'm getting those initial responses. People are treating me like I have leprosy. Of course, they don't want to be around me and stuff. People calling me, why didn't you tell me you were sick? If I knew that I was sick, I would not have. If I knew that it was that serious, I would not have been around you. So I did all that apologizing. People gave me their well wishes, stuff like that. Physically, I'm still a little congested. My nose is a little runny. Um, my temperature pretty much has gone down all the way. But more than anything, I'm just irritated because there is a community choir with a church that, our family has been um, friends with for a long time. They have a community choir every year around Christmas. And I used to attend the choir, going to the concerts every year since I was a child, pretty much. And I've been singing in it since I was 18. And this is the first year that they have had the choir that I have not been able to sing because of my COVID diagnosis. And I messaged the choir director. She sent me the songs. I think I'll see if there's a Facebook Live so I can watch the video of the choir practice so I can still feel like I'm a part. But I was just thinking, God, out of any of this time, COVID's been around since March of 2020. During any of this other time, I could have caught COVID. Why would it be during this week that is, so important to me? I mean, my mother has sang in this choir. My grandmother has sang in this choir. Some of my aunts were lead singers in this choir when they're in town from Atlanta. So it's not the end of the world. I'm just more drained and disappointed and let down that I have COVID more than anything. So it is what it is. I don't know. I've been watching Love and Hip Hop uh, clips. I hadn't watched that show since college, but some came up on my news feed, so I just been watching some Love and Hip Hop clips to keep me entertained since I can't really do anything else. So that's it for today. So today is the next day. It is the 28th. And the long dreaded COVID symptom that I hope I did not get happened last night, and that was having trouble breathing. Not too long after I got done making the previous clip, actually. And it lasted a good portion of the night. It woke me up out of my sleep. Breathing is just something that we do naturally, so to have issues breathing, it's uncomfortable. Like I said, I see how people die of COVID. And, I did post on Snapchat that I was having COVID, just letting people know, like, I know I have plans because there was lots of people I planned on seeing this week what was happening. And I've had lots of friends offer to buy me DoorDash, asking how I'm doing, even though I've only been able to eat 3 croissants, a thing of applesauce, and a couple of oranges. I couldn't hold real food down even if I wanted to. It was just nice that my friends are, of course they're with me when I'm up, but they're also with me when I'm down and offer to do things with nothing in return. But I want to say, I think I figured out how I might have gotten COVID. someone else who was close to me, and I'm not going to say their name or my relation, who might not have taken all the proper protocols that I did to make sure that I did not catch COVID. They caught COVID, and I'm around this person often, and that's a good possibility of how I caught COVID. Now, it could have been something else. It could have been something else, but that's my sneaking suspicion. And not arguing, but complaining about it, it won't change the price of the tea in China. I'm not sure if you can tell a little bit in my voice, but it's still a little bit issues breathing, but definitely not as bad as it was last night. But yeah, I think I figured out how I might have gotten COVID, which, come to think about it, it could have happened at any time. But yeah, that's really it of today. I didn't go through a whole tissue box. Just I will say this: the tired symptom, it doesn't hit you until you do simple things like today's trash day. I took out the trash and the recycling. I felt winded. Never in my life would I feel winded taking the trash from outside to the back of the house and the recycling and moving. Like, I had to like and take a couple breaths. So that fatigue is real with COVID. Maybe it's the COVID, maybe it's just my lack of movement because I haven't been going anywhere because of quarantine. But yeah, that fatigue is definitely something that I noticed today. But yeah, once again, one of the hardest parts about it is just staying inside. Now, granted, you have not seen, what I do. I very limit, the stuff that I post on this channel. But if you know me personally, I'm not one to stay in the house on just doing stuff like this. So it's a learning process staying in the house. So it's learning. So it's still the same day, but I just want to mention another thing about this is that it physically hurts to sneeze. Like if it's a sneeze that's a full body one, or like if it's a achoo or something like that, it physically hurts my chest. It's like somebody just socks me dead square in the chest. It takes the wind out of me. And I would not wish that part on anybody. Now, I did want to say as well, this quarantine is not easy. I'm entering at this point, my third day of quarantine. I have 7 more days left to go. It's not easy, but it's something that's required. It would be selfish of me to go out into the public and say, well, I have a mask on and risk somebody else getting this, because I would not wish this on anybody. And I miss the simple things, going to the grocery store, stuff like that. Just being around people. I miss giving people hugs. Just the simple embracing people. I can't do that. I can't do that. But yeah. I just wanted to share that. Some quarantine thoughts. So it's still the same night. It's the middle of the night. I can't even sleep. This is the first night where I tried to not take melatonin to put me to sleep, and I couldn't do that. I had to take melatonin, and hopefully it'll work sometime soon, to help put me to sleep, because I'm so uncomfortable with my breathing issues that I cannot comfortably go to sleep in my own bed. I can't sleep in my own bed comfortably because of this COVID, and it's affecting my breathing. I didn't ask for this. I was careful. I did everything that I thought I was supposed to do. Could I have done more? Yes. And I did mention, I could have gotten it from somebody else who did not take as many precautions as I did. But I didn't ask for this. I'm just trying to just go throughout my normal routine. I can't go to the concert on Saturday. It's not the end of the world. But the fact that I can't even sleep in my own bed comfortably, I can't even be comfortable enough to go to sleep because of something I didn't ask for and I did not intentionally. I wasn't going out to clubs. I was wearing my mask in public places. I was wiping off the handles at grocery stores. I was doing all that stuff. I wasn't going to any COVID fest parties or stuff like that. I didn't go out at all. I didn't do any of that. But now I have this. This COVID is messing with my mental. The physical is bad, like that. Let me make that clear. But it's messing with my mental too. It's messing with me. And anybody who doesn't think so, that oh, it's just a hoax. It's just this. It's not that bad. It's just a bad cough. You know what? Just step on some Legos without any shoes on, please, because this is terrible. Go run in some traffic or drink some bleach. This is. It's no joke. It is no joke. And you know, from the beginning, I never thought it was a joke. I knew it was something somewhat serious. But, I took all the proper precautions and stuff. But having it just makes it all the worse. And, some people have no symptoms at all. They just test positive. That's not my story. That is not my story. Now, I don't have it as bad as others. I'm not in the hospital or anything. But I'm mighty uncomfortable in my own bed where I can't even sleep and get ready for work the next day because I can't breathe all the way right. So it is the next day, and I feel a lot better than last night. Last night and the night before, both nights really, if God would have called me home, I would have answered. I can see how other people die of this disease in such large numbers and people who have pre-existing health conditions. And like I said, I'm no Olympian. I'm far from the best shape. But if it was able to do that to me, I can just imagine what it can do for other people and being on ventilators and oxygen and stuff like that. Now today, I still don't have an appetite and I've been just a little dizzy. Even taking a shower today, I just didn't feel. It took me longer than it would normally take a shower, and I just didn't feel all the way there yet. But some progress is better than no progress, so I'll just take what it is. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I still have about 6 more days left of quarantine, so I'm gonna finish it the best I can. No, I'm gonna finish it the way I need to. But yeah, just a little update for today. I'll see you most likely tomorrow or whenever I make another video. So today is January 1st, 2022. And the best way I can describe it is I just feel a little uneasy. Yesterday I had a Chipotle burrito and then some shrimp, rice, and vegetables. I might have felt a little ambitious because today I really don't have an appetite at all. I had some sort of concoction my sister made. It was some vitamin C thing, and I almost threw it up. I don't know why. Maybe just because my stomach isn't used to having food in it or something. But physically, I feel, a good portion of the way better. I have less days in front of me than I do behind me. I have more days behind me than I do in front of me. That's what I meant to say. So it's looking up. Quarantine is starting to get a little bit easier, but I'm ready to go outside. I'm ready to be around the public. And of course, I'm going to be masked and I'm getting that booster shot as soon as possible, but I'm ready to be outside. Once it becomes safe, because maybe I just saw something on Twitter, but it was something about a florona or something like that where it was flu and corona mixed up. Hopefully it was just a joke. But I don't know. I'll see you guys possibly just when I'm negative, because at this point the sickness is pretty much over. It's just a little congestion, but the main things that I was going through, I'm done with at this point. So also, I thought it was worth mentioning as well. When I said earlier on the Monday clip, the first clip that you see, I talked about I went to work. I went to work right next door. I work from home temporarily. They sent us home in March of 2020 because of COVID. So when I say I went to work, I did not go to a physical building and work. I went right next door to my bedroom, to the home office to work. Just that I mentioned that, in case there was any confusion. So today is the 2nd of January, and as I mentioned before, as much as it is physical, it's also mental as well. I have not, besides for taking out the trash, there were 2 days where I walked around the block. Besides for that, I have not left my house since last Sunday. And I do work from home as well. So between working from home and living, it is nice to get out on the weekends. But make an intentional effort to talk to those people, to communicate with relatives or people from church who are bedridden or can't get out as often. I know for me personally, you still want to have those connections. You still want to go socialize and do stuff like that with other people. And you want to talk to people, but you don't want to feel like a bother. You don't want to feel like you're inconveniencing people by having them talk to you. And when I did get some text messages or when I did get calls from people, it really just made me feel better. It was something I looked forward to. So those times when I have not had that, it it kind of did something to me. And like I said, this is just for another 3 days I have left in quarantine. I can imagine this being my situation for the rest of my life, possibly. So I'm going to do that for sure. Make an effort to talk to those people, your neighbors, older relatives, people from church, those people who are not able to get out and socialize the way that they used to. Their mind's still sharp, their body just isn't what it used to be. So make an effort to do that. So it is the 5th of January, 2022, and I officially have tested negative for COVID. I did my 10 days of isolation. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I went and got tested. My test came back negative. Still don't have much of an appetite. Still just not feeling all the way 100%. But I'll count my blessings. What I've learned from this COVID experience. One, you know who's in your corner. You'll learn real soon who's in your corner. I hadn't been sick since 2018, more than just, maybe a short headache. But having a long-term illness that lasts over a week, where, you can't do things for yourself, where it hurts to even be awake. You really learn who's in your corner and who's looking out for you. Also, as I mentioned in that previous clip, I'm definitely going to reach out to older relatives more, or people who I know cannot get out the house like they used to, because I know what it feels like to be isolated and you want to have contact with people, but you don't want to feel like a burden and reach out to people. So I'm COVID free. I'll do a crumble review tomorrow. I'll review the ice cream in there. Honey bun cookie again, a revisited review. So yeah, I'm COVID free. I am COVID free. I hope I don't get this again because it was not fun. It was not fun at all. Also, I will say I was vaccinated. I had not been boosted yet. I have not gotten the booster, but I was fully vaccinated. So yes, while those first couple of days were not easy for me, according to what I've heard, it would have been harder for me had I not been vaccinated. So that's just something to remember as well. It is your own personal choice whether you choose to get vaccinated or not. But all in all, I just say be careful. Whether you choose to wear a mask or not, get vaccinated or not, just be careful. Be careful. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a crumble review.